What's up, guys? It's t-wils here, back for another trading recap. Guys, we're back after some trials and tribulations. We are back, guys. And yeah, we're back. We have a past account here. We got our first green day on Tradeify. We got a growth account of 50K. We're back after some trials and tribulations, as I said. We're back, guys. We got our first green day on this growth account. It's not the select account that I had in the past video that I had passed. This is a different account. This one's not straight to funnel, but you could pass in one day. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the max payout is 1,500, but you essentially have to get a max payout to get a payout because the minimum profits required is $3,000. So that's, I'm not sure if that's in a balance of 3,000 flat, or we have to just get to the profits of 2,000 flat. But yeah, we got our first green day, guys. We kind of overshot. Calculating it, it was roughly around $600 a day I should have made, and I made almost 3x that. And yeah, I made 1476 today, guys. So it kind of sets me not behind, but for the consistency rule on the calculator, I had to get my total to 4 grand now, 4.2, and that means I have to get a total of roughly $700 for my next 4 green days. So it's not much more than compared to my $600 I would have had to make before. But at least with this little buffer that we made today, or a little extra made today, we'll have a little buffer on the account compared to our $1,500 drawdown. We will have a bit more, right? We'll have $2,500 if I'm not correct. If I'm correct, around that, something around that. So yeah, coming to the trading day today. I have this set up for the recap, guys. So coming into today, don't worry about this white box yet. I'll explain. We had draws, a lot of draws below. This is how I like setting up my day, guys. Like when I'm coming in to the trading session in the morning, I'm marking out my draws higher and I'm marking out my draws lower, and I'm saying to myself, what do I want to see happen if this happens, and what do I want to see happen if this happens, X and Y, right? So if X happens, what is Y going to be? If Y happens, what is X going to be, right? So coming to the market open today, as you can see, my draws lower. I'm not going to go over and say all of them. You can read them on the screen, right? This white box should be ignored, right? Because this is not included with the bias coming into the open, right? So that's why I have this white box. Okay, so coming into the open in the morning, I seen we're obviously bullish, right? And the reason why I say we're bullish, obviously we're in an uptrend, but one thing that is key in regards to knowing that we're bullish and respecting bullish structure is that we're respecting bullish PD arrays and we're disrespecting bearish PD arrays. Let me explain what that means if you guys don't understand what I'm saying. We're respecting, let's say we're on the 1 hour gap here. We're bullish because we're in an uptrend, but we're respecting these 1 hour gaps, right? We're respecting these 1 hour gaps. Obviously this, you didn't know that one yet. We'll come on to the 15-minute, right? And these draws here lower can still be tapped if let's say Y happened today instead of X. Instead of X would be being bullish. Let's say if Y, we reversed off, let's say this New York lunch, or through this 4 hour gap we just went through it. These will obviously be our draws, but these draws are also what we are using to respect this bullish bias, right? As I said, we're respecting these PD arrays. These are obviously in our draws, but we're respecting these bullish PD arrays coming to the open. So that gave me a real strong narrative that we were going to be bullish. Also, knowing we had our draws here, the only thing that was kind of nerve-wracking was that we did have these stacked gaps here, right? So we had, let me move this white box so it's kind of just in the way now. Coming into the 4 hour, we had a one 4 hour gap here and another 4 hour gap here. On the 1 hour, we had a 1 hour gap here and a 1 hour gap down here, right? I know it's kind of looks a bit iffy because there's a lot of boxes stacked with each other. I might just try to stick with me here a bit. So yeah, coming into the open here, this is what kind of gave me this bullish bias, right? I didn't take longs specifically. I didn't take longs. Obviously, I knew longs was the play, but I knew that we would be respecting bullish PD arrays if we were to pull down, right? And if we were to drag down, obviously there's going to be a retracement. But we're going to, oh fuck, sorry. We're going to retest and have our rebalances off key gaps, right, into other key gaps. So if we can take that into consideration, that's where we can get our nice move, like a move we got today, right? So coming to the open, we dip down into this 15-minute gap here on the 15-minute time frame. Into this 15-minute gap, the yellow box is our 1 hour gap, and this orange box, this purple box is our 4 hour gap. So we tapped all three of these gaps perfectly, and we rejected off of that and went and tapped the other 4 hour gap, taking out New York lunch high, taking out New York AM high, and that's what I'm gonna go down to the 5-minute. We took out those highs. After taking out those highs, actually, I'm gonna go down to the 1 minute. We had a 5 minute. I'm just gonna say we left a 5-minute gap here off the open push. Reversal off coming off those 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour gaps. Coming off of that push, right? The reason what made me want to go for this short here, and I did take a couple other jabs here, and I'll show you on the trading journal after, that made me be down around $400 before taking this trade here. But a reason why I wanted to see shorts here is because there's exhaustion in regards to our buyers here. So we came up, took out, we didn't even take out this high. I forget which high this is, I haven't marked out. We didn't even take out this high fully, rejected, came back down to this 1 minute gap, not the CE, but we came back to tap this gap for some liquidity so we can push back up. Didn't tap the CE of the 1 or 4 hour. Low buying pressure. We have two doji candles, semi-doji candles right there. And then we wick all the way back down to this level of support with these wicks right here. And that just showed like low buying pressure. If we were, obviously I said we're bullish, right? But if we're fully bullish off the open, and we've seen it multiple times in the past weeks, past months, whatever, we're going to rip through this 1 hour gap, rip through this 4 hour gap, rip through the CE, and we're gonna be at least see some exhaustion before we take out these next highs in this free floating range, right? So yeah, coming in back into here, we see this exhaustion at the CE. I took that into full consideration. We have a draw, another draw right here. We have New York AM high, and we're right here at the CE, and we're exhausted to take it out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles that don't even take out this AM high, right? And we're at the CE. We're in this range. We're obviously bullish, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for a reversal here because obviously we're bullish here. But I don't think we're going to be pushing to this London high. This was TP I wanted for a lot of my trades earlier. Like when I was thinking of some trades in my head, I did want to see this as my full TP. But I didn't think we were going to hit that until later. And obviously we ended up hitting that a bit later. But I was correct in regards to that. So we came close to this 1 minute gap, and I wanted to see a closure below. We got our closure below. I wanted to make sure we could truly be bearish, right? Because obviously we're taking a short. In a 4 hour and 1 hour gap, right? And these couple this trade I took here, and I took another one I think somewhere in here, were obviously bad trades because we're trying to long in this gap. Obviously we're bullish, right? So I didn't really care to long in the gap, but obviously we're gonna see rejections off the CE, rejections off whatever it is, right? So coming off the CE, I felt like this was a good time to short, right? Rejecting off the CE, coming back down to some gaps, and yeah, that's what we essentially had here. Oh no, my bad. On this 5 minute, right? Coming to the 5 minute gap here, we didn't even close above the CE. That's why I was like, this is going to be a good trade. We're going to reject back down. I didn't know it was going to be to these lows, or to AM open. New York AM open. But we didn't close above the C on the 5 minute. I'm like, this is going to be a good time to retest this 5 minute gap here. That's why this was my TP. Retest this 5 minute gap here and then push back up. And we continue to do that afterwards. But yeah, coming out to my entry for that, as I was saying, I waited for confirmation. I waited for this new 5 minute to open. Oh shit. Waited for the new 5 minute to open because I know we're right there. So I actually got in on this candle. At the top of this candle. Sorry, the top of this candle, all this shit's in the way. Top of this candle, and we targeted the bottom of this 15, obviously, or 5 minute. It should have been the top of the 5 minute, right? Me putting the bottom of the 5 minute kind of gave me an extra $400, and that's why I kind of put that because I was already down $400 on the account. So I put at the bottom of this 5 minute gap, and it ended up working out. So guys, this was a perfect, I think this was an A+ trade for me on my half. Obviously, I could have gone in off the inverse of this 1 minute gap here, because we don't really have any other gaps on the 5 minute. But I waited for the 5 minute. There's no 5 minute inversion. Was there a 3 minute inversion I could have gotten off of? No, there's no 3 minute inversion. So I guess I got in off the highest time frame inversion, but I waited for some extra confluences as I'm saying with the CE 5 minute closures. But yeah, so I'm kind of yapping, kind of talking very quickly. But yeah, that was our trade for $1,400 right there. Bang, first green day. And yeah, we kept our cons. When we was wondering, kept them not. Not gonna say low, but we went for 6 to 8 cons. I think last trade was 8 cons because I was very confident on it. But yeah, we kept our losses very low, right? So we had it wasn't even 2 full losses. It was 1, 2, 3 break evens and then 2 losses, right? So I might say this 50%, whatever. But this was a BE that I guess got messed up because of commission or whatever. I have no clue. This is a BE, but these are 2 semi-full losses, right? This is also a BE. So yeah, we kept our losses small though, guys. You can see one 90, or you can see it here actually. Yeah. We kept our losses small. We didn't get into. We got into some drawdown, but the BEs kind of helped us here. And yeah, this is when we got our BEs and kind of helped us, right? We weren't crashing. We weren't too worried about it. We were just trying to lock in and find, and wait for our setup to find us, right? Or to show itself. I should say, present itself in the market. So yeah, that's basically it. So for these next couple of days, obviously it's the weekend. For this week coming up, I'm just going to be going for like this $700 a day, right? I'm gonna be risking, I guess, 4 to 6 micros. So yeah, for the next couple of days, I'm gonna be risking 4 to 6 micros, depending on the stop loss and where it needs to be, based on my trade and where my TP is gonna be at. So yeah, that's basically it for that trading recap, guys. As I said, been a little slump, coming back out. We're fully locked in. No more gold. No more gold. But yeah, we are locking back in, focusing on what got us here, right? And I saw a quote the other day, and I'm not gonna quote the quote because I don't remember the quote exactly. But it was by, what's the girl? It's a female trader, right? She was saying, it's not really a quote, it was just something she said. She was like you're always focusing on what your next goal is in regards to whatever it is in life, right? And obviously having goals in mind is a good thing to do, right? But you're always focusing on what the next version of yourself looks like, or how you can get better, and what you need to do, and which obviously, like, these are all good things you should be thinking about. But sometimes it's good to take a step back and realize where you came from, right? And where you started on your journey, and think about the progress that you've made, and also like give yourself time to be proud of yourself and live in the moment and be like, I did come a long way from where I started, and where I was a couple of years ago or whatever it is. So yeah, I was thinking about that quote basically all day today. Not to say like my life has changed drastically from when I started trading, but just my mindset in regards to trading, even in regards to life as a whole, as a whole, right? Obviously have a long way to come, right? But I'm definitely proud of where I've come since I started trading, since even like trading aside, since I started university, since I ended high school, since whatever, right? So obviously like growth and progression is gonna happen as people age and shit like that. But if you're proud of your growth and progression, that's something that nobody can take away from you, right? So I appreciate all you guys from watching. I appreciate all you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, leave a like on it. It encourages me to keep going. If you want to stick around for the journey, click subscribe. Leave a comment if you guys have any questions. The link for the Discord will be in the description. All my codes will be in the description. I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a blessed day, and a good and safe weekend. Thank you guys.